you're excused. 'Cause you're always late, overweight, and totally rude.
You guys are
Hello. Hello, welcome to Creatively Unworthy Podcast number 10. I paused for a little bit because it said it back to me in a robot voice. Got confused.
I have to hold this like this.
Hi.
You turn around, but then I can't see the computer. Oh, how can I do this? Should change.
I have to see the computer.
I was gonna invite somebody today for this podcast, but I completely forgot about it. I know some cool artsy people that I was gonna maybe badger. Shout out to nobody because I didn't talk to anybody about it.
What we should do though, when we have people come on, we need to sort of tell them what our expectations are,
Yeah,
And that is
probably talk more beforehand.
to add to the body of knowledge about what does it mean about this unworthiness and why is it important to at least be aware of it. I mean, Christin, I'm going through this today. I don't feel.
I think
one comment I get, one email, and it throws my day. One negative, comment. Why?
Because you don't believe you are worthy,
I know.
and that confirms it.
Oh, there we go. It just confirms it. You're right.
The belief that you.
And do you know a lot of I think this was the guy Jordan Peterson that said it, but when they interview a lot of CEOs of big companies, they think they're phonies. They think of themselves that they're going to get found out, that someone will find out that they really don't know what the hell they're doing. And in a lot of ways, that's the way I feel about like my fundraising. I'm trying to raise money for these little girls, and this one of my friends, this doctor, sends me an email talking about the NGO in Nigeria and how he gives money. And it's just like, this has nothing to do with that, but it sort of makes me feel like I'm trying to calm him. And I was very clear, as I've been, about this is a family that's poor. This isn't about you taking on one individual person and following their life, through medical school.
Yeah.
Haven't I been clear? I mean, I thought I was, but that clicks into that I'm unworthy, or that I'm a phony, or I'm something,
Plus, like we were saying earlier before we started, reading text is really hard to interpret versus having a conversation. So he might not have intended on making you feel that at all.
Oh, I'm sure he didn't.
He might have just been trying to share what he's been doing, but it came across that way. So it's really hard to be for sure about something until you talk to someone and hear the tone in their voice. Yeah. Tone is everything. So I think you had a good idea to just give it some time and then reread it later.
Yeah, and every time I've done that works when I reread it later. When my initial, like I've had these things happen where I read words into it that are not there. I mean, they're literally not there. And I'll think, and you and I've talked about this, and it's a big problem. And I think it's important we discuss it on this, because how Christin and I have worked it out is she's told me, don't react, don't react right away. I should know that. But as a, the energy, the emotion, the reaction is, I want to write back, well, screw you. Here's your money back. If you think this is, a medical doc, sending a doctor to school. These are young girls. We're just trying to keep them off the streets, not ending up like so many young girls in Cambodia. But I don't want to react and say that. What Kristin's taught me is to wait a few days, and then reread it. And I thank God every time. I wish I could remember what it was. It was probably something about Robert, and I reread it again, and it didn't say anything that I thought it said. It didn't say anything like that. but I read into it that it meant like, you're a jerk and I don't want anything else to do with you, blah, 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 blah. That's what I read.
The brain fills things in. The brain will fill things in for us. That's why sometimes you can read those weird posts, people, where it's not spelled right at all, but you can understand because your brain will naturally try and fill things in, especially if you think you know something.
Yeah.
If you think you know something truly about yourself, it's a lot easier to fill in the blanks and assume that they're confirming your beliefs about yourself.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean, like, and there's also a lot of, I feel like that's really valid, that there's also like a lot of like gatekeeping, I feel like, in the like fundraiser community, like saying things like, oh, well, I'm supporting doctors who are, going to be this and this. What is the people you're supporting doing? Like, how are they giving back to their community? And it's like, I don't know. I don't feel like there should be tiers of donating. It should just be like, if you're helping somebody who's worse off than yourself, like, good for you. It could even be like, say you're in line for Burger King or something and you pay for the person behind you. They probably have money for it. They're in line, they're waiting. It's just something nice to do for somebody else. There's no, like, you can help somebody else out and it doesn't, they don't have to be like a medical student. They don't have to be like a fighter or whatever, like you could just be charitable to people.
Yeah, if you're gonna help them, just help them. No expectation in return. And these are little girls, and one of them is going to go to school or is on her way to law school. Like,
she's in law school. She's in law school.
That's
exactly.
That's amazing.
And
that
even if
never happened without you, Dad. That would have never happened.
Never happened.
They're in a third world country. It's really hard to live over there. It's like, even if they don't want to be law students, who cares? Like, this is gonna better their lives and make it easier for them to like survive and get themselves in a financial situation
and help
that doesn't involve like having to go to prostitution, which a lot of third world countries do, because like, especially towards women, like they're really prejudiced.
Yeah, because men are the worst.
Yeah, and there are guys that they're predators that go there, for sex tours and things like that. What I was so proud of, and this is why it just, I thought, how could this guy even have, I got the letter from, they just lost everything, right? And says, and Cherie Neat sent me this text and said, hello, how are you today? Thank you so much for you helping my family. And now Mama take money to buy something for home and for some clothes for Mama, for me, and for my sister. But don't worry about me and Mama and my sisters now. We are some strong, not same before. And I just, oh my God, it made me feel so good. We're strong, not same as before. Before they weren't strong. That's a giant jump. And I just want to grab that guy and the mother, don't you get what's happening?
Again, you're assuming what he's trying to say. You should send it to both of us and we should take a separate look at it, because especially if we're talking about it on this podcast, and he might not have even meant to get you all.
He's anonymous. We can drag him through the dirt.
We'll drag him through the dirties.
Yeah. He doesn't know who he is,
What I wanted,
one of the biggest donors.
What I want to say is, and he was.
Don't. If you apply more information to him, he's no longer anonymous. Okay, you can't know we're picking.
What I really wanted to say to him is all the stuff that you're talking about Africa, and I do believe Black Lives Matter, but we didn't bomb Africa. We blew Cambodia off the goddamn map. And that's why I'm there. That's what I'm, this country is still, it's literally crawling out of the shithole that America helped create for it. And I'm sorry, I'm going to calm down.
Yeah.
The other thing is, what Christin has taught me to do is come from a place of love, when you write something. But it's hard when somebody is critical of something that I see so clearly. and they don't really see or even care about, you know.
Yeah.
He's helping these medical students because $500 there goes a lot longer. You can't understand why it doesn't go, you know, longer, you know. I don't know what he doesn't. I'll send it to you, but it just really upset me, you know, that somebody would
Send it to both
send it to
Rebecca
both.
and I,
Yeah, I will.
because it could be a big misunderstanding, and if it's not, then we'll be able to talk about it too on the next podcast.
Yeah.
And
Then we'll
all
really
set it.
drag him to the
Then we'll
desert,
just
you know?
These
put
are
him
things.
straight to the deathbed of the earth.
These are the things that
That's
come
what
up
he
when
really
you're
meant, because
doing this
we don't
kind
have time for that.
Let's see, Kristen. And
It's so funny because right before I came on today, I was sitting on my porch and I was looking at a spider web, and it was the most beautiful spider web I've seen, but it's new. It's a brand new one, and it's humongous.
So you were like, oh,
It's humongous. So I was thinking, so this spider is probably really proud of all the work he's done in one night. And he's like sitting there going, look at this masterpiece. And then I come outside and I'm like, oh man, another freaking spider web to walk through. This is the crap I have to deal with.
was it like over an
But
archway?
he thinks it's beautiful, you know, and
This
it's
is
his
really-
livelihood. It helps feed him, and it's just it
It's
makes
his house.
spiders their
too.
heart. So it's all about perspective. Like, you're over there trying to help this small portion of people in Cambodia, and that's really beautiful. And it took a lot of energy. And then you're the spider. So, and then the guy over there is going, well, my spider web is like, blah, 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 blah. It's just like, who the fuck cares? They're both, the intention is the same, is to help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's,
Guys,
you can
like,
only donate,
if
like,
he's being critical,
yeah.
it's pointless. It's
It's
such a
pointless.
waste of energy to compete about who's being the most charitable.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
basically what I felt like. You know, that's what I
It makes
felt.
me so fucking
But
mad.
here's something that I think relates to this podcast. I actually feel better right now after telling you guys about this. I wasn't feeling
Cool.
very good. The emotions were really pulling me down, and I was in a trance state, what we, you know, John Fox would call a shame trance. And what that means is I'm the unworthiness, the shame, that feeling of like when you were up on a spelling bee and they told you to sit down because you're so dumb, you know, can't spell anything, or that feeling that you get. So I was in that.
Yeah.
And just telling you guys about this,
Unworthy
saying,
feelings.
send it to me. I clicked it off and I sent you both what the guy said. And I'm telling you right now, I feel so relieved that it's gone. It's like
Plus,
disappeared.
it's nice to, it's probably because it's good to feel heard. It's good to feel
Yes.
heard
Yeah.
by people who care about
Yeah.
what you're feeling.
Thank
It's
you.
medicine.
Exactly. That's
in
medicine.
itself.
Just
Yeah.
feeling heard.
Like,
Exposing
getting it off your
those hidden
chest.
emotions.
And like,
Yeah, talking about it, exposing it, getting it right out in the open instead of letting it build in here.
yeah. And this has
Which
been
has
building up
not
from
been very good in the past.
yesterday. And why I was mad at my son Logan was I walked over to his house. I wanted to talk to somebody about it. I wanted to talk to him. And his truck was there, but he didn't answer the door. And I didn't like go in or anything. I knocked and nothing. And I left and I thought, God, I can't. And I sent him a bunch of emails. How did or text, how did your thing go? And I heard nothing. And it just made me feel like he could give a rat's ass if I lived or died. And I'll tell you another thing. Why don't you send him a letter?
That's why I texted you.
Huh?
That's why I texted you, because I knew you were going to take that personally. But he's probably just like, God, tomorrow's the last day. I don't want to stress myself out about talking about the interview, because I was texting him about you too. And like, you know,
He had a big job interview yesterday. And
Well,
I
that's
wanted to
good.
know
That's good.
what happened. I
so he
wanted to-
doesn't want to build it up.
Yeah.
And sometimes guys get kind of like standoffish though, but I don't think it's like personal. Probably just is like in his own head, and in a box where he's
Yeah.
sitting down and doesn't want to think about
I just
anything.
described him. I mean,
Yeah.
and I can't be critical of him because I was that way for most of my life, huh, Chris?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Especially young men. Young men
How's
are
it
very
going?
like that.
Fine. How's it going? Fine. Anything else?
No,
Fine. It's a regular day. What do you want? It's like,
I
I want
there
to
is-
talk about every detail. That's what I want.
I would stay here longer
But they don't
Chris,
want to talk about it.
and talk to you, but blood's filling up in my shoe right now, and I'm going to go and
Yeah.
refill it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my eye is filling with blood. Okay, I'm gonna have to go now.
I've got to go.
Oh God.
We're joking. We're just
Yeah. I hope you were.
It is
trying
pretty
to be
bloody.
funny.
Yeah.
Kristen, don't show us that pink eye. That
Broken blood vessel or
Yeah.
something.
because one of the things I always say, we
I'm
want
gonna
to.
show
Oh
you.
my God!
Yeah. Let's see
You
if I
wanna-
can guess another thing about him too. When he's hungry, he gets really unreasonable and kind of angry, like
Yeah, blood sugar.
adverse,
Hang
hungry bear syndrome.
angry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
You
me.
should bring over food next time you want to talk to him and see if that cheers him up.
I tried.
There-
to
Just
do.
hand him.
Yeah.
Just put it straight in his mouth.
Jordan Peterson says it works like magic when you're in a relationship like spousal or like friendship or like like
Mhm.
parental. Like
Yeah.
if somebody's being unreasonable, just throw food at them. See if that helps.
Throw food at him.
Yeah. Here, eat
That's
this.
interesting.
And then
'cause
like
it's
magic, they're
it's-
rejuvenated.
hangry, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. So if you can combat at least one of those things by bringing food, then you're much better off than if you would just show up and be like, "Hey, I need you."
Yeah.
Oh, you're hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. Well, I still need you though. Come on, rally. Like, give you some blood sugar to help bring that back,
Yeah.
and you're good. Or some alcohol, whatever.
Open the
some
door.
bread.
I just brought booze and dinner. No.
Booze and dinner.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate. Well, tell me all about it while I eat. It's all a big dance, Dad. As women, we know
As a
you
woman.
guys are pretty tricky to navigate around sometimes, especially when you've been working hard all week. And
Yeah.
So
it's tricky.
it
You
is-
guys aren't good with emotions.
not-
So I wouldn't write off that he doesn't care about you just yet.
Well, I think we're onto something, but I think I have a feeling Dad is about to tell us something else. What are you going to tell us, Dad?
Well, I was just going to mention a woman. Her name is Alexandria Nechita, Nechita, and she is an artist. She was a prodigy when she was 10 years old. She was selling paintings internationally, and she'd never seen Picasso, but her paintings are like Picasso's. They're amazing, and she just did they just did a big a piece of hers in Beverly Hills, and it's this woman, like rotund, big legs and big stomach, kind of, I forget who the artist was that would do these, but the point I wanted to say was I got a statistic from that interview, and they said that only 11% of museums have women artists, and only 11% of the art in all the museums in the United States are women. So it's
Really?
just a very minor percentage. And then also
It's very much
she's-
still a man's world.
yeah, and she's been doing this since she was a prodigy. So she's doing this all her life. And one of the things she said is she's always in this cloud of doubt and doom. And I took it away and went like, wow, that's the
Creatively
life of the
Unworthy.
art.
Yeah.
She's somebody who's living artist, who's like an international, people know her name and who she is, and she lives in a cloud of doubt and doom, and
It's like never ending.
it's never ending, and that's one of the things that
And nobody's safe. No
Yeah.
one is
yeah,
safe.
no
You
one,
could
You're
even write
safe when you're
50
dead.
books and still feel like you can't do it.
oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah, Dad.
I'm not
Open
calling
50
anybody
books.
out. It's just a random example.
I just called it out.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
was.
Dad.
too.
Silly.
Yeah.
I just had,
This goes back to what we were saying earlier. And another one is creative amnesia. You have amnesia when it comes to your value.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Most artists do. They have amnesia when it comes to their value, especially if they're by themselves. They have no one to bounce their thoughts off,
yeah.
like a sounding board. And they're not honest with anyone because sometimes they don't have anyone. So then they go mad and drink themselves to death and they end up like Picasso, right?
Yeah.
He
Not
died.
Picasso. No, he didn't.
Who was it? Wasn't Picasso?
No, it was Ernest Hemingway blew his brains out.
Died drunk
No.
Every
in
artist
gutter?
ever seems to die, though. To be
But-
fair, it could be any one of them.
Most of them
Yeah.
end up like that way, but not Picasso did.
Didn't he die a drunk
No.
in the street, poor?
Oh no. Not
Picasso?
He shot himself?
No, that's Ernest Hemingway.
Who am I?
I know who you're thinking of, but
Yeah.
there's no, Picasso was very, he lived in New York.
Who am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I know
pretty
you're
much
thinking-
every artist I've heard of from the past died poor and alone.
So many of them do.
Yeah.
So one of the things
I'm about to head out to the gutter myself
Yeah.
since I got that fact wrong. No, Kristen, you're wrong. See, my internal brain
Bad,
goes, well,
Christine.
fuck this podcast. I'm a dumb idiot. I should leave.
Oh.
No,
Right?
don't leave. Don't leave.
No,
We
I'm
love
just
having
kidding.
you here.
I'm just giving an
Okay, yeah.
example
yeah,
of how that could have been taken.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm aware of this stuff, and I did it.
Who
Nope.
painted
And you could be
Starry Night?
Huh? Oh, I know who you're thinking.
Da
of.
Vinci?
Just,
Leonardo?
no. See, there it is again. I'm sorry. I know. You know what? I was an art major, and I've actually visited these places, and I know who these people are. So it's kind of terrible because I think I can recall it. But Starry Night was Da Vinci, and wasn't it Da Vinci? I don't know. Now we're all gonna feel like.
Oh, hold on. My door
just
is
look it up.
ringing. Hold on. Pause that thought.
And I'm gonna look
Yeah.
this stuff up. How did Picasso did? You want?
We're back on, everybody.
Okay.
Yay.
I had a knock at the door. So
We're-
tell me, Dad, how's your GoFundMe going to help the girls?
It's great. We've got $350 last time I checked. So
That's huge.
cool.
How far will $350 go over there versus here?
Oh,
Like
well,
it's a big
just
difference,
you
right?
just figure the tuition at rural universities, $500 for the year, goes a long way. But, in terms of buying clothes and stuff, one of the things that C.U.P is great at is shopping. Even though she,
And
she's
so Peeps the mom,
mom,
just so everyone
even
knows.
though, she basically has a third grade education, she can do the math in her head. Like, if I say that, how much is a liter of rice, and I said I'm paying $3, she goes, oh my God, no, you can get for she knows, and she shops where the Cambodians shop, and there's different levels of when you have no money, like there'll be in between times when I send them a check, and they'll end up, like most people do at the end of the month, longer month and less money, so they don't have much money. And that just means she fixes rice with like fish that her father caught, like these little tiny fish, and she goes, smells terrible, but it's protein, and they eat it with the rice. And having, like, we don't think anything of having a steak, like Chris and I's big thing every time we get together with Logan, we have to have a ribeye steak, which is like that big, each one of us have, and that would feed. She would cut that all up in little tiny pieces for the whole family of 5 for a couple of days,
Yeah.
And they love spaghetti and things like that. When I make it, like I made them spaghetti, and they always want to have the spaghetti. one of the
Oh,
things I thought was
spaghetti
so,
is like the best too. It's so good.
yeah,
Dad makes the best spaghetti.
I do make good spaghetti. I don't know why I make good spaghetti.
Really
I
good.
make it with love. Um,
Oh,
I I I created Thanksgiving dinner was really for me more than anything when I was over there, and I bought Thanksgiving turkey. I spent I spent like $120 at this restaurant, which is like nothing for us here, right? But
yeah. It's like
it
every
but,
restaurant. It's a bill
there
for
was
3 people.
6 of them and one of me. You know, we're all sitting around, and the Newt, the youngest daughter, who's really super popular, really cute younger one,
Mhm.
she said this was her dream come true, that they would be
Oh.
sitting down in a restaurant, you know, with silverware and having this meal, you know, all of us. And it was like, oh my God, I just thought I'm celebrating Thanksgiving. And for her, it was a dream come true that her mother would
It's
be,
like
you know,
King's Banquet.
Oh,
yeah, it's Queen's Banquet. Exactly, Chris. And I've got pictures of it, you know, and it's just so happy. And, you know, I got it, took and brought them from their house to there and took them back. And I made a big deal of it, you know, like I treated them like they were movie stars and I was,
oh,
you know, doing something really great, which cost me nothing for us, you know, it'd be nothing, but it was like such a big deal.
yeah.
So,
I feel like
Huge.
America really doesn't get how bad the rest of the world has it, you
oh,
know? Like,
no. And you
not
could say
even,
it, you could say it all day long. Oh, things are bad, but um, how you how you explain it is with stories like the one I just told. You know, that's how you tell people the
Mhm.
difference. And you know, most people just
mm,
um, they they
they
don't leave
can't,
the country. They
they
don't
can't
have a
even
passport.
I saw
conceptualize it.
the other day. I saw an image. The other day, I saw an image of this child wearing um, like way too big shoes, and they were like laced from the back so they would fit him. And the caption said, "You think you're having a bad day? At least you have a pair of shoes that fits like this. That's the only pair that." And they were like size 10, and he was like size 5.
Yeah.
It's just it's awful when you think of how many shoes Americans have.
Oh
Just
my
the
God.
shoes
You know,
alone.
people brag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they
brag about
collect
that.
them. They have rooms specifically for their shoes.
Yeah.
They wear
I know.
plastic bags over
Yeah,
their shoes so they don't get dirty when they go outside.
it's just people need to
Yeah.
perspective needs to
The girls
change
all
over.
had one pair of shoes. You know, I bought them, and so Peep had her one pair of shoes, and her shoes were worn, you know, down to a frazzle. And most of Cambodians just wear what we call flip flops. You know, just that's what they wear. You know, and I've even seen guys working and women working on high-rise buildings in their flip flops, wearing, you know, basically they're barefoot. You know, with big pieces of metal they're moving around.
Probably glass everywhere. I mean,
Oh yeah.
And if you drop something on that toe, open
Oh my
toe
God.
shoes on site,
oh,
I call Cambodia the nation of toes. I mean, you see so many toes when you're sitting in a tuk-tuk and you're driving somewhere, and everybody,
a
you know,
toe toe.
huh? A tuk-tuk, a tuk-tuk,
what is that?
a tuk-tuk. It's basically it's a motorcycle pulling a, a little cart, and you put 2 or 3 people in that cart.
That's
They
like the
call it
new pulled by
tuk-tuk.
horses motorcycles.
Yeah,
That's
I've
cool.
got pictures of, you know, it's so funny that I don't even think, I think everybody knows that, you know, what tuk-tuks are,
Yeah.
you know, but I didn't even have a car the whole time I was there. I didn't need one. When you live in a big city like that, you just, and then I found there, because they're going through a transition like we all are in the world, this is before Corona, there, there was an app, I don't even know if I've got it on here, but the app is called, it's not an Uber app, but it's,
A tuk app.
yeah, I can't,
That's great.
yeah, tuk app. But basically, that's what it is. But it would give me options, and so you know I could get a tuk and they would come to me, or I would get a car, and there's so few cars, and I said, "Oh, I'll do that." And I was finding they didn't even know what to charge for the car, you know. So I was paying the same thing that they were paying for a tuk-tuk, you know, outside in a motorcycle. I would get a car. Oh my gosh. They don't even realize, you know, that you could, for the same, it probably cost me 500 real to go from the mall to my house, which was $1, you know, like nothing.
Yeah. My gosh. Uber prices from my school to my house is like $40.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
No
And
way.
I go to Ventura Community College and I live in Oxnard, so
Yeah.
you know.
21 way, 20 home. That's how
Yeah.
much mine was to get to work
Oh
every day.
my gosh.
It's ridiculous.
Way expensive. California is way too expensive.
We should start our own tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
I should
Yeah,
ride
let's get
tuk-tuk on
I
my-
want to ride a motorcycle. Dang it, that's cool.
I should be able to find one somewhere.
You could practice on my Honda Ruckus.
Oh my gosh.
I'll pull it with a motorcycle. We'll strap something to my back and I'll just, you know.
Yeah. Like this, I'll get on a skateboard and you can drive my motorcycle. We could call it the roll.
The roll. Perfect. Since I'm a small girl, though, I'll probably just get pushed off of it in downtown Oxnard, and then somebody will hop on it and keep going, and I'll just be like, okay.
Wait. Whew. Oh, speaking of creatively unworthy, man, I tell you what, just getting through the electronic hurdles to set up something to be creative on could drive you insane if you don't have patience. Holy crap, I almost did so many destructive. I went through like 4 computers trying to get this software to work.
Is
talk
that
about
the screen thing?
Yeah.
I'm so
like,
sorry. I feel like I gave you.
Don't you dare do that. It's not you. It's not your fault. I had all out of date. I have computers from 2010, 2013, and I couldn't update them. And then I couldn't get the. It was just, I just wanted to kill myself and then everyone else. I would have killed everyone within myself because I felt so dumb.
Yeah.
I felt so dumb. And by the time I finally got it to work, I was wiped out. I couldn't even look at it for 2 days because I was so hurt by how login took. But now, like, check this out. Now I'm getting COVID. Of course, my power cable died yesterday.
Yeah, of course it did. Of course.
But I finally got one in the mail today.
Yay!
Like, I'm like figuring it out.
Oh my god, did you draw that on with the thing?
And that's after. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And when my power cord died, I said, fuck this. I'm printing it out then and I'm going to keep going. So I just started hand drawing what I wanted to add. So once I got my power cord.
And you know you could take a picture with your phone and put it on the program too, so you can just trace over it. So you don't have to redraw all of it.
Now.
So good.
Now.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a screen share, okay, really quick.
Okay.
So I can show you. Can you see this? So this is the tuk-tuk. I mean, I'm sitting in it.
Oh, it's cool. So it's like.
There's the tuk-tuk right here.
Yeah. Ah, it's so weird. Well, that's cool. And it's like attached to the motorcycle.
Smarter. It's way better for the pandemic to have that instead of taxi cabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breathing all over you.
You could spray it all down after somebody gets in.
Yeah,
and it would air it out. That's
I remember riding home the day before the day before they shut our company down for the pandemic. I remember riding in an Uber home and this woman was coughing and sneezing. And I was like rolling down the window, holding my head out the window on the way home.
Because you didn't know.
Like, what is going on? And then of course the next day, blah 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 has corona. He brought it back from
Oh my
Miami.
god!
So we have to close down the business.
Have you gotten all your corona shots, by the way?
Not yet. No, I'm going
There-
to get my first
Come on.
one.
There's
early
free.
next week.
You
Next
know, at the
week.
fairgrounds in Ventura, there's free shots going on right now.
Yeah, there's free shots all around my neighborhood now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go there. But plus, I heard there's a new vaccine coming out in like a day. So
Yeah. I heard the Pfizer's.
that's what I want to get. Although my mom got the shot, and then she got corona. She has corona right now. She has COVID.
Your mom? Your mom does?
Yeah.
She got the coronavirus?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I told you
No.
2 weeks ago. I told you on our way home. I found out. Yeah, and this is after she got her first shot. So she was about to get her second shot, but then she got tested. So she's
That is so unlucky.
praying
Yeah.
for
So
her.
how is she now? Is she okay? Did she have to go to the hospital?
She's
Huh?
hanging in there. Oh yeah, she's put on steroids and all.
Are you
kinds.
serious?
Oh my god. I hope she gets better. That's like,
Yeah.
holy cow.
Well, it sure didn't stop her
I know.
taking a couple of shots at me, even though she was on the old corona. I didn't really
She's
think
got a lot.
about it.
She's got a lot more work to do before she leaves this earth. So I'm glad. At least I know she has more work to do because God bless her.
Yeah.
Love that lady. Cheers, Mom. To life, love, and the pursuit of happiness.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Well, I think we've run our gamut today.
Yeah.
so I talked way more than I should have.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
stop.
your poor
Sorry.
voice.
And it's now 7:30, you guys, if you can believe it. It says an hour and a half.
Mhm. Yeah, the light fully changed throughout our podcast.
I know the lights change, it's getting darker, which
Yeah.
That's how you know we're having a good time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel better. I'm happy now that I got that off my chest about that. And you can read it and then react to me. I sent you an email with that.
To
Guys.
both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of you.
You read it to me a little bit earlier. I don't know. It's either he was kind of being antagonistic, or maybe what Kristen said, where because after listening to it, it either sounds like he's asking for proof, like it's gonna go and help people, like they're not just taking advantage of you and taking their money and then not working, or it sounds like he's like, oh, well, my charities, like I donate to all this. What are they doing? It's either
That's kind of
those
the
two.
way I felt it was. But he's 90 years old, so you got to cut him some slack.
Yeah, and it's really hard to
Did you hear
Fresh
yourself,
emotion.
Dad,
What?
just now? You said
Yeah.
he's 90
Yeah.
years old.
Yeah, he's 90.
You gotta cut some slack.
Cut him a little
Where
slack.
was that voice earlier? To yourself.
No.
What?
Hey, 90-year-olds still commit verbal crimes. Probably literal crimes.
Oh man. He could probably barely see the computer.
That's fair.
He's like, is this a T or a 1? Is this a T or a 1? Wilma!
Wilma.
Wilma's been gone for quite
Put that pot roast down and come proofread my
Are
email.
are we recording? Because I don't want him to.
Yeah.
Really?
I hope we're recording.
This is end of podcast 10, everybody. We had a
Okay.
good time.
You did a
Now
great
we're
job.
starting. We're starting to shame
Shout
all
out
of
to
our-
Wilma.
Till next time.
And 90-year-old guy.
Totally rude, honey. Your excuse.